Thank you.
And I need to say that on the tape.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay,
We're back.
We're live. I was just telling Ingrid that it is so important what you are doing with these little interviews, because you are introducing to your entire Facebook follower, but the community of the Houston-Galveston area. These are people that are here to support you. And if you were not doing this, this is a very quiet community. We don't march,
true.
and we don't cause trouble. We just, people tell people about people they know.
Right.
But media helps to get the word out there. And the technology available today is freaking magic. You know, 100 years ago, if I'd have showed someone this iPhone, I'd have scared people to death. But magic
like,
is...
can you cook on it?
Yeah, really. No, but every recipe in the world is in here.
Yeah.
Magic is just stuff you don't understand how it works. So, like, when your family comes home and the smell of dinner is in the house, oh, my mother is so magic, you know, or there's clean sheets on your bed. How does this happen? It's so wonderful.
It's magical.
You really are making magic. You know how to do it. And by the fact that you take the time to create an environment that supports your body and your heart and your mind and your spirit shows that you know how to work magic.
Well, you know, I woke up one morning about 5 in the morning, and my angel Hope, who works with me, she's basically like, guess what you're going to do? Guess what you're going to do? And I'm like, no. She's like, yes. She said, you are going to go do this. You're going to go forth and do this. You are going to shine a light on all the light workers. That is your next job. And she said, once you shine your light, each of them shining their lights, you're going to light up the whole world. And
it's a starry
it's beautiful.
network. It is, in fact, a network of stars. I can't tell you how many years I would have to train you to just be able to say this to you, and yet your angel gave it to you all at once. Every time you have a set of ideas or thoughts, they're like sparks in your brain. They're little electrical sparks that literally go off in your brain. And when you have ideas that are bigger than fit in your skull, then they literally spark out into a starry network in your etheric field.
And sometimes they put the light out
Sometimes
in the room.
they do. Or poke your eye out too. Yeah.
Electricity.
But your angel's name is Hope. Mm-hmm. I love that.
She came to me when I was about 5, but she's always told me things, helped me, guided me.
You got your guidance.
Yeah.
And because of what you're doing, everyone that witnesses it does better. It's kind of like, do you remember when the show about where they would come in and do extreme home makeovers?
Yes.
There's this thing in your brain that is magical. That when you do something nice for someone, you feel good, they feel good, and anyone who witnesses it feels good.
I love those kind of things. If
you tell the story, if anyone who hears the story feels good, if you demonstrate it or share it or show a picture of it, everyone feels good. That is why we keep posting this stuff on Facebook, because it's a steady stream of uplifting inspiration. And inspiration is, by definition, an incoming of the spirit. You know, and you have that to make you feel good. And it lifts you up and it makes you stronger, and it makes it so that you can go on when you're tired and weary. And so part of the things that I do is to help people figure out, well, how can I get more inspiration? Literally start with where you are. You know, start with what's around you. You can just take everything off of your desk, wipe off the desk, and just put back what you want on it, and you'll feel better. You can change your sheets.
And I've done that physically. It does feel good.
Yes. I have worked with artists who are overwhelmed by the 10,000 things, and I've just taken a white sheet and thrown it over their work surface. And all of a sudden they can think again. Because of all the electrical firing of synapses everywhere with I see this and I need to do that and then nothing gets done. So every act of creation begins with an act of destruction. If you're going to cook supper, you're going to trash the kitchen. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to crack the egg to
and
cook
hopefully
it.
others help you clean up.
Yes,
hopefully
because
others help you with all
who
of that.
cooks does not have to clean. Yeah, that's a great thing. But
so helping each other is so important.
It is getting to be more and more important because the family of man is we are at the top of the circle. We've got the mineral kingdom, we've got the plant kingdom, we've got the animal kingdom, and then you've got the human kingdom. And the human kingdom is the steward for all those below us. We are here to take care of them. We are not here to make them our slaves, to use and abuse them, to do what we're doing with plants, with Monsanto and the GMOs. And we're not here to do that. We are not here to take advantage of the minerals and the oil and the uranium, and we're not here to do that. And we're not here to torture the animals either. We're here, and people that you're interviewing are here to inspire the people that make differences, because every single one of us, every single choice you make, every single word you say creates a reality. A yes or a no creates a reality. And so as you begin to become aware of this, then you watch other people. I was at the vet with my cat Jazz, who was sick, and while my cat was off getting whatever done to him in private so that I wouldn't freak out, I was sitting in the waiting room, and one of the women working behind the counter came up and told this story about having slammed her hand in the car door and how her nail came off and there was blood spurting and spurting and the pain was shooting up her, and I was just going, la, la, la. Could you, because I experience it.
Right.
I can't watch the horrors on the news, about guys who have raped a 2-year-old and then chopped him up into pieces and fed him to the gator. I'm not going to watch this. Instead, I will support people. Instead, I will do other things. I will teach and I will write and I will lift up. But the world is not a better place because I listen to what's on the media.
And that's another part of this, is my original vision was to flood the media with a positive impact.
Bring it.
Because we have plenty of the other stuff.
Yes.
That why not bring
it's time to bring it back into balance.
all the people who do good. I mean, they have no problem on the 5 o'clock news showing you who harmed someone. But how many shows do you see on TV, in the media,
it's a rare thing,
about people who do good?
Sometimes you'll see an ending of the news.
Yeah, they'll have a piece of it.
Yeah.
Or somebody saved a cat from a tree. Okay.
Right.
And we feel good. And they put that in there because they know that we enjoy it. But what if we had this kind of thing, inspiration all the time?
All the time.
How humanity's mindset would change and realize the good in them. Realize that we all have this good in us. And what we're doing, people like you, talking to our audience, you are telling them out there, you're like me. We all have this beauty in us. And I can do it, you can do it. That's all it is. It's just, we're shining that light so that others can see the way.
Once you introduce these people to the gang, then at some point, should they need it, the gang will go, you know what? I saw a woman who could do that, or I saw a guy who does this. Yeah. Let me go to Ingrid's site and see what I can find. And then you can trace that down. And so you have new resources. It's like having new crayons in the box. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I can do this. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. And the scope of talent that we have in this area is phenomenal.
It really is.
Varied, powerful, professional, classy, well expressed. Yeah. They really are incredible. That's you true. Can get anything you need. And we're That's here true. In the heart of the country. It's California, Florida,
like
Canada. Yeah. So we are in Houston, the greatest cultural mix of any city in our country.
Definitely.
And so there are things that you can get here and see here and find here because every person has added to the symphony. Mm-hmm. And every song that adds to the group makes it sweeter. Mm-hmm.
Great music. Well, let me ask you, how did you get all into this?
It's a long story. When I was a little girl, I had turned 8 in 1960. And within 100 days, my father was dead.
Oh, wow.
And I had 6 brothers and sisters, and my mom is just kind of in a state of shock. And we went to the viewing of the body. And I was Catholic, right? Reared Catholic. And so the priests and the nuns came to to the situation, and one of the priests from our school and church walked me down and said, "You need to say goodbye to your father." And I looked in the box and went, "Great, where is he?" And they said, "This is your father." And I went, "No, doesn't look like him, doesn't smell like him, and it sure doesn't feel like him." And he grabbed me by the shoulders and kind of did a quick shake and went, "You need to get a hold of yourself." And I said, "You're telling me that what is in this box is my father?" And at that point, I realized that the church will lie to you. Mm-hmm. And I'm not 100 days into being 8 years old. And that was when I went, okay, I need to know more about death, and clearly you're not going to tell me. And that was like, well, because I had just had my first communion. I'm in 2nd grade. I'm a little kid. Mm-hmm. But evidently I came into this life knowing things, you know.
You knew.
Yeah, so you know. And so I started studying death, and I started talking to people that were old, and I started talking to them about what is it like, and what are you afraid of, and what do you think, and then came the self-help movement. Used to be you had problems, you didn't tell anyone. You don't talk about it. You don't let anyone know what's going on at home. You don't.
Yeah.
You keep it to yourself. You don't air your dirty laundry, kind of thing. Now you can go into any bookstore in the world, and the self-help department is probably the biggest section of that. This is all brand new with the Age of Aquarius. So all of a sudden there began to be books, and I'm a voracious reader, as you can see. All of a sudden there began to be resources, so that I could read. Yeah, it was really awesome. There was no technology for faster income or like Google, and there was a limit on what I could find published. But I mean, even looking in the Bible, you can find all kinds of stuff that they put out there that you can translate in many, many, many ways.
It's really about interpretation, isn't it?
It's all about interpretation. But you know, even a recipe for making chicken soup is about interpretation.
Yeah.
So we all have our filters, and as I have come to where I am now, I have been trained as a professional educator and certified as a master teacher. I have a PhD in holistic life coaching. I have a master's in metaphysics. I have a bachelor's in both education and metaphysics. I am a Reverend Dr. Trisha Keel as much as I am a metaphysical practitioner. I am a teacher.
You've been going to school a while.
Well,
I do a little bit of schooling.
It's more like every minute of every day is learning.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm learning from your.
You really did.
Well,
but yes.
Yeah, I'm learning from what you're putting out. I'm learning from talking to other people. I love all the people are on my Facebook feed. They give me all kinds of different feedback, and I got people that will disagree with me strongly, very strongly. And I have people going, well, why don't you just unfriend them? And I'm going, but wait, I like what they tell me. I mean, I don't have to agree with what they tell me, but I like seeing all other sides. Tell me, like art. Art is subject to interpretation. Do you like this? No, I think it's terrible. You know, but I like this because, I never looked at it like that.
I've always seen, people as all diamonds, universal consciousness, and each of us looking out of a facet. So with one of us going, I see that star there, and somebody's another facet looking this way, they can't necessarily see your star. So they say, no, that's not truth, because you're the one seeing it, not them. So it's really hard to convince each other of our truths. But if we open our mind to that, right, that we can just listen and say, well, just tell me, what do you see?
Right.
And without judgment. And then we learn something.
Right.
It's amazing.
It's like the 6 blind men and the elephant, and there's one touching a leg saying this is like a tree trunk, or one like a snake, or one's a rope. But each of us add to the understanding of what's going on around us.
Right.
And that distills down to the wisdom. Mm-hmm. The cool thing about the truth is that when you know it, sometimes you'll get like shivers on your skin. Or you'll run down the nape of your neck, down your back, down like to the heels of your feet. You just know.
You feel it.
You just know. You don't have to have somebody tell you, and that's the truth. Because if somebody comes on and goes, and that's the truth, that's when you're going, Right.
That's your truth.
Yes, right.
I hear your
Right.
truth.
Right. And so one of the things that I teach my students is that no matter who tells you what, whether it's me, whether it's your priest, whether it's your mother, I don't care who it is, you have the responsibility to run it through your head and compare it to everything that you know, and run it through your heart and compare it to everything that you feel, and make a decision for yourself. This is the age of magic, but it is also the age of mind. It is up to us to think and wake up, because we're so often just in the zombie zone. You know, we drive home and we don't remember a thing. I can drive 100 miles down the road and have written a chapter in my head and not remember the journey at all. Mm-hmm. So one of the things I encourage people to do is do something different every day. If that means on your way to work you take a left instead of a right and then figure out how to get there from there, that's great. You know, try something different at a restaurant. Don't always eat the exact same thing. Try something different. Yeah. If you want change to come into your life, then you have to change it. Because nobody's driving the bus but you. Except for spirit.
I was going to say, spirit's there, but you know, you're part of that. So
yes.
It's a matter of listening.
Right. You have free will. You can tell spirit, no, I'm going to do this. And then spirit goes, well, sure, you go ahead.
Try it.
Let's see how that works out for you.
I get some popcorn.
Yeah.
Just see what happens.
Yeah, right. I'll wait. And eventually you wake up and go, well, okay, I'll try it your way. But it's the spirit way is generally the way that's going to turn out for the best. Mm-hmm. So at least in my experience. And
definitely.
The more I have submitted to the not my will but yours, O Lord, you know, not the little W but the big W, then you get this awesome feeling of, that was so good. Mm-hmm. That was so good. Christmas morning, I made myself orange cinnamon rolls. You know, the little crack the can open and my family used to have them all, and we'd all divide them up. You know, there's 8 in a can, and there's 4 in the family, so everybody gets 2, and you have little sausages and juice and coffee, and so I'm all by myself now. So I made myself orange cinnamon rolls, and I was real excited about having leftovers. So I was getting in the car to go to my mother's house for Christmas dinner, and Spirit said, swear to God, you need to wrap up the extra cinnamon rolls, 2 to a bag, and put them in Ziploc bags and give them to the beggars at the corner. I don't want to give away my cinnamon rolls. Those are my cinnamon rolls. I don't want to give... I can hear this. You can get more cinnamon rolls. It's Christmas. So I wrapped them up. And the first beggar that I came to, old man, bent over, bags of stuff, sleeping in a bus stop. And I stopped the car and I rolled down the window and I said, Merry Christmas, want some breakfast? They were still warm. Mm-hmm. And what? You brought me food? Thank you.
Aww.
You know, and so it felt really good. So then I went down the street and I'm going, yeah, I know. I went down a little further down the street and there's a whole pile of them under the bridge. And so I gave them to a woman who was standing there because she was closest to the curb. And there's 2 guys going, well, where are my cookies? And I went, you're going to talk to her. And I made the U-turn and got on the freeway to go to my mom's. And the smile across my face was huge. Huge. And that is what you get when you do the right thing. Do what you have. Do what you can with where you are with what you have. Spirit doesn't ask more of you than you can do.
So tell me, what can you share? What do you have? You have something here that our audience might be interested in.
This is my 2017 Feng Shui and Moon Magic planning calendar. And the planning calendar has a week for each week is shown on a page. When the days are yellow or orange, this is Mercury in retrograde. When the days go to yellow, this is Mercury in wobble. And it has every planet's activity. It has all the moon sign phases. It has all the astrological decants, the sets of 10 days for each of the astrological signs. It's got everything that you could possibly need to know about planning your year.
And where can they find it?
They can get this at Amazon.
Great.
Yeah, just go to
so
Amazon.com.
It's called Feng Shui and Moon Magic 2017 Planning Calendar.
Yes, but you can just type in Trisha Keel.
Or
if you type in Trisha Keel, you can see all of the books that I have written.
Wonderful.
And there's plenty in there. With that, you can see that there's Feng Shui.
And do you have any other like classes or anything else coming up?
Yes. January classes. I do a Feng Shui workshop the second Sunday of every month, so that people can change their environment and change their life. Make it easy, quick, simple, and you walk out with goodies.
Great.
So that you can go home and shift things around. And the one for January is all about staging sweet success. Because a lot of people have come through the holidays and gone, okay, where's my new year? And it's all the same old stuff. And it's because you haven't taken out the trash. It's time to let go of what no longer serves you and start rearranging. If you can move 27 things, open a desk drawer. Take everything out, clean, dump it upside down into the trash can to get all the shavings and stuff out. And then pitch the things that don't belong in there and organize what's left, and you'll feel so good.
I always think of it as a cup of water, that we walk around with this full cup of water, which is all the stuff that we learned, our perceptions, everything that we filled ourselves with through our lives. And then some other new concept, something amazing comes along, and it's
got nowhere to go.
You're trying to pour it,
right.
And it just kind of slides off you.
Yeah, that's great.
And so it's about constantly keeping that water fresh
and flowing,
so that we don't have these old habits
right.
and old ideas. But we have to keep it empty. We have to
right.
keep ourselves empty so that this new stuff can come in.
If the universe comes in and says, "Okay, here's your $1 million," and you go, "But wait, my hands are full because I'm already carrying." Set something down, for heaven's sake. So this little workshop will help you to identify the places in your environment where, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I need to fix that, and then go fix it. Yeah. And what the good news is that it makes an immediate and dramatic difference to everything. And it makes you feel like, oh, I really am driving this bus. I am the one controlling this. I can make a difference. I can fix this. So empowering. Also this month, January 23rd through the 27th, I am teaching a professional Feng Shui practitioner training class. That is 5 solid days of hands-on experience performing Feng Shui consultations and energy clearings. Now, when I trained as a Feng Shui practitioner back in the 90s, this is how my teacher taught me. But now, pretty much exclusively, teachers teach in a classroom. You come in, you do book learning, you read workbooks, you see videos, you see slideshows. It's then go do a Feng Shui consultation and come back and take an essay test. Well, if you're gonna fly a jet, you need to have flown a jet before you fly a jet. If you're gonna do brain surgery, you need to have practiced.
Yeah.
So because I'm a master teacher, I insist that people do it. And do it at my side, so they don't feel nervous, and they can ask me, and I can guide you, and I can stop you from hurting yourself or anyone else. And by the time you've had the week's experience, you've done 5 consultations, both live and virtually. Mm-hmm. So we'll do them in Europe, we'll do them in Wisconsin, we'll do them California, Mexico. Just depends on where my customers are, and they learn how to do it by doing it.
Great.
So they step out day 1 as professional Feng Shui practitioners. They're
So
awesome.
How do they find this? Is it on your website?
This is on my tomorrowskey.com website.
Tomorrowskey.com if you wanted to see more about what she's doing.
It's also on the Facebook calendar of events for this week. And then the last Sunday of the month, I teach practical magic workshops. Because whenever you're creating something with your mind, when you envision it, when you imagine it, imagic, it's all the same stuff. If you can't imagine it, you can't have it. So this month's practical magic workshop is on candle magic. Ooh, cool stuff. So visualize yourself having like a box of crayons, only instead of crayons, it's candles. And each candle is there for a specific flavor in your life. You got a cherry pink candle, and you got a lime green candle, and You know, you want to have a little romance, so we're going to put in the red candle. Whoa. You know, and there's a reason for lining up. Just like the starry celestial network, the starry web around your head that you create by calling in your angels, by thinking the thoughts that you think, by choosing the music, choosing, like saging a sexy evening at home. You know, you send the kids to grandma, you have dinner all cooked, you put on the beautiful music, you don't do head banging. You know, well, you might, but you might. You choose the music, you choose the candles, you choose the perfume, you choose the outfit, you set the stage, and you make magic happen. So candle magic is a very basic essence of making magic happen. But they will discover that you can use candle magic for all kinds of things.
That's awesome.
And so that's fun class. Fun class.
And hi, Amber. We have Amber Hasib on saying hello. Thanks for tuning in. And hi, Angela. I see you on there too. Welcome to our show. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We've got Trisha here, so you know she can't get away right now. If you want to ask her something about Feng Shui, or well, actually, she has so many degrees. You could probably ask her anything.
Yeah, you can ask me anything.
Literally.
When I tell you I'm a teacher of the wisdom, I'm not kidding. I have been studying for a while, and when I train architects in Feng Shui friendly design, they'll tap in. They're really smart people, and they will realize very quickly in the morning she knows pretty much everything, which is kind of a large responsibility. What I don't know, the thing is that when you're really highly attuned to spirit, you don't have to Google.
That's true.
You just are told instantly, and you are given information that you would not otherwise be given.
You know, through the years, I've had people come to me saying, oh, you know, whatever I was talking about, they say, oh, I guess you read that one book about this, and that I don't read. Normally I don't read, but it's like I have had that my whole life. It's just spirit constantly gives me the information that those same people got that wrote those books.
Right.
And of course I write books because I'm getting that information.
You know, when Leonardo da Vinci was young,
yeah,
he disappeared for a while. Nobody knows where he was. Just gone. Kind of like Jesus was just gone. So when he came back is when he began those journals. And he was downloading from what they call the rain cloud of knowable things, which is there for all of us to tug on, especially at the beginning of an age. Like, this is the beginning of an age. And he sketched all kinds of things as if he had time traveled and come back and then drawn what he figured out, you know, tanks and helicopters and all. I mean, I can't even, the spiral stairs and all of the things. The brand new organ that they have just identified in the human body, the mesentery between the small and the large intestines.
I haven't heard. Is that?
This is brand new. Brand new science. Da Vinci talked about in his journals.
Okay.
Because he would go through and do autopsies, you know, grave robbers, so that he could do the physiological, he would understand the way the body looked to draw the body. Okay. So he talked about it hundreds of years ago, and science just found it this week and proved that it was one organ, a completely brand new organ.
Well, I'm homeschooling my daughters, and my 8-year-old, I'm teaching her all the organs of the body. So that's why I was like, wait, that wasn't on there.
Mesentery, yeah, you can Google that.
Okay, I'll have to.
And I did repost it yesterday.
That's great.
But if your child sees that science, we're working with science in this age. We want the age of magic to blend with the age of science. Science will prove that the soul exists. In this age, science, shortly, and we are right on it, science will prove life after death. Everything will change. And so all of the people who have been like hunkered down, get the money, make the money, will all of a sudden go, oh, there's more to this than
we might have to rethink all this world as flat stuff, don't we? To just kind of move on to the next level.
And the more we learn, the better choices we make. Right. So I was telling the vet when I had my cat at the hospital last week, you know, we do a test and we get some information, and so then we'd make decisions from there. And then we do another test and we get more information and we'd make decisions from there. Growing up, as we are all doing, You go through life, you learn a little more, and then you make another decision from there. So as you know more, you make better decisions. So because you are talking to these people, all of the teachers, all of the healers, everyone who watches these videos knows more. Mm-hmm. And you can't unknow what you know. You cannot unknow. You may not remember, like, where did I get that? But if you'll kind of anchor how to get back to it, then you know it. Einstein said you don't have to know everything that's in the library. You have to know where to find the answer.
Yes.
If you know where to find the answer, then you know the answer.
I took this computer class years ago, and the first thing the teacher said is, okay, everybody, go to the help menu. He said, look at what's in there. He said, that's all you need to know, is that whatever question you have, you need to know where to go so that you can find the help you need, so that you don't need me all the time.
That's exactly right.
And that just, like, blew my mind.
Yeah. As you realize,
everything.
It's, you know, it's, as you have your iPhone and you realize you can get anything, or whatever phone you've got,
mm-hmm.
if you will ask.
Just need the resource.
You just have to ask. You can have the access to everything and never ask. You're not going to get anything.
Right.
If you don't open up to greater knowledge, then you just bang around where you are, stuck like Chuck.
Right. And sometimes I want to do that monkey thing on the computer and just break it, you know. But usually I figure stuff out when
Mercury in retrograde is passing. Sunday.
Well, my husband is a IT professional.
Oh, bless his heart.
He comes over and he's like, shh. He's very calm.
Yes.
It's like, I don't know how you do it, honey.
Because he knows he can fix it too.
Well, he knows. Yeah, he just knows. He knows even if he doesn't know, he knows what he can do to find out.
Right.
And he's always asking questions, and I love that. I just, even though I feel like I get a lot of answers, I'm still not good at taking the moment to ask those questions, you know, like he does.
By the time you have formulated the question, you already have the answer.
Yeah.
The way that you are, you just, and you come into this knowing I'm okay, you know, and when you're just, when you take a deep breath, which breath is inspiration, respiration, you know, it calms you down and centers you, and okay, you know, restart, let's start over, and we'll back up out of this, and we'll find a way. You just don't ever give up. You know, throwing yourself on the ground and holding your breath and kicking your feet is not going to fix the computer.
But it's fun.
I know. Sometimes when I'm on hold with tech support, all I can say is, I was typing up my magazine to go out this week, and I hit insert a space, and half of it disappeared. And it's like,
I laugh, but it's not funny.
It's 4:15, and I needed it to get out. Mm-hmm. So I called tech support. Can you call this up? No. So, you know, it does feel better, especially to make those guttural sounds. You know,
there are certain notes you can hit.
Yes,
it's satisfying.
And
definitely.
One of the things I got for Christmas was a handset to a telephone. Like an old black hard plastic telephone that plugs into the bottom of my cell phone. Oh. And so when I unwrapped it, I went, "Oh, this is awesome!" It's because you can feel it in your hand. The day will come when I can slam this down. You know, it's not that I slam the phone on anyone. You know, the biggest thing you can do now is push a button. You know?
I know it's just not satisfying.
But it was the coolest gift because that physical expression of emotion is sometimes very gratifying. I really don't want to go beat up a pillow. I want to make something smash.
Yeah.
And so that's part of the physical wisdom. There's emotional wisdom and mental wisdom and spirit wisdom, and all of the healers that you've been talking about are acknowledging all four levels.
Yeah.
But many people in the medical profession see no connection between the mind and the body.
Right.
Ask them how they can wiggle their toes.
I love that. I love it. Made me go,
yeah. You know,
you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
It's all connected. It's all one. And so when you honor it all of a sudden life gets easier. You can't just shut down your heart. You know, your heart broken over whatever it is that your heart broken over. You can't just not acknowledge that. You have to go through the grief. You have to cry hard, cry loud, keen if you can, until you get to the point of where you can hum. And then sing. If you can listen to Amazing Grace on bagpipes and not cry, you're a better person than I am. It's tough.
Such beautiful music.
Yeah, but you know, it brings its own energy level.
Yeah.
So when I do energy clearings for people who have had a death in the house or a suicide in the house, and they have not cried, will not cry, I will call it up on my phone, and the tears will begin. And as the tears begin, the energy begins to flow. Emotion. Emotion is energy in motion.
I always have, Kleenex when people come to see me, even if it's just energy clearing I'm doing. This woman last week, she had this really thick eyeliner, and I was like, she is really feeling secure in her. She had a black face when she left.
Yes.
And I'm
Thank
thinking,
God.
oh God, I was just looking at her face like, should I tell her to wash that off? I guess she's just going to find out.
Yeah, she will find out.
But it's sometimes we just need be in the right place. We need a light worker around us.
Right.
We need somebody
Just to be near someone with a higher energy.
to feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
Safe enough to feel all that, knowing that they're going to hold us.
That's an exact
in light.
description. Yes. And they lift us up, and it's not necessary that they say anything, really. It's just that they're there. And that their light blends with your light. And then your light shines stronger. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, I like you so much. I feel so much better, And
it's like a mother's love, just this pure love. And especially empaths, most light workers are empaths, and we tend to understand people better than they understand themselves. And so when they come to us, they just immediately feel at ease usually, or like they can tell us their whole life story, even in the grocery store.
It's
line.
so easy to talk to you.
It's like I have to leave now. I'm just getting groceries, but we need that. Everybody needs somebody to care about them in such a profound level that it changes them and lets them go forth and do that for other people.
Right.
And the light workers
then
are
they
the
hear
ones.
something that doesn't say they're the bad guy, or you're stupid, or you really screwed up this time. It's supportive.
Right.
One of the nicest things about being a teacher of the wisdom is that when I am counseling someone, I can give them actual things they can do. And I can give them like things for their physical environment. I can give them things for what they do when they eat, how they eat, how they say grace, how they walk through life. They walk out empowered with a set of tools. It's like I've put on chain mail and a shield, and I've given them a spear and a dagger and a helmet, and they walk out, whoa, I've got this, and having that ability to do that for people, that's just the coolest.
And again, it's about paying it forward. I feel like we're the light bringers, but we pass that light, and those that don't know it yet, they haven't necessarily heard their calling, they suddenly start hearing that.
Yes, they
suddenly
do.
Go, wait, this light looks really familiar. Maybe I can do this too. And
yes.
it's just this ripple effect.
The more people we can encourage to do this, the more, if you will look at the young people, like really young, 6 years old, 3 years old, and say to them, you did so good. You made your granny feel so good. You gave her a big hug. They'll look at you and they'll go, I give her another one. And they run and hug granny again, Yeah. And it doesn't matter the age. The 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, everyone needs to know you carry the light within you or you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I have like a 25-year-old and a 75-year-old in my class and in between right now this month. Just these ages, and it's amazing. It can affect anyone. Anybody can be a light worker, you know what I mean? It's like whether you realize it or not, whether you are so drawn to it that it doesn't matter, you have to do it, then you do it.
The most basic level. Do not knock that over, Jess. At the most,
the cat wants to be on camera.
At the most basic level, to be like a beginning light worker, as a tiny baby in arms, you smile at someone and someone smiles back. Jasmine. Ooh.
I just want him to be on camera for
Yes. Jasmine
See
is
how
doing
well
just fine.
He's doing better.
He's curious. He's checking it out.
He's super cute.
Go find something
Well,
to do.
is there any last things you want to share with the audience? Maybe
Well,
what you're doing?
there are new things coming for 2017. Spirit is poking me to serve the realtors. So they want a Feng Shui training class, and they want an energy clearing training class. I will say that for those of you who are interested in energy clearing, you can clear your own energy, but there are times when you should not clear your own energy. You know, if there has been a bankruptcy or a divorce or a disaster, like your house gets flooded with 4 feet of water in it, really, you have enough to deal with. Let the cleaning people do what they do physically, and then call in a professional energy worker. If you've got someone who has put a gun to their head, you do not want to clean that up. Let the professionals clean that up, and the police can tell you people that come do that. But then call me or call someone like me that can come in and clear that energy signature out of there. I strongly encourage you to give yourself permission to let someone handle that for you. Just because you know what a transmission is in your car doesn't mean you have to overhaul your own transmission. Hire someone to do it.
And it can be really hard to see yourself.
It is.
Even when you think, like, when people are doing the pendulum, I tell them, sometimes that pendulum is going to tell you what you want to hear, because guess what? You're affecting it. So it's still better to get a reading from someone else. It's still better to have that outside influence where it's objective, whether it's healing, whether it's clearing. So I highly recommend that too, to make sure you have somebody else helping you and supporting you and assisting you. Allow that love to come in.
Let the network of relationship expand. It's all about the energy of the angel Gabriel, which is communication, messages. You cannot have communication without two people, so there has to be relationships. So when you have other people around you, then you are actively vibrating at that resonance where you can get the message, get the lesson, learn more than you could by yourself. It's easier. You know, life doesn't have to be so hard. Really, you don't think that you have people out there helping you, because when you sit around, you look, I'm the one doing all this, but every healer that is in this series that you're doing, every one of us is a light in this network, right? Mm-hmm. So every one of us contributes to what the others are doing. As I move to create a full-blown profession as the teacher of the wisdom, every healer, every teacher follows in my footsteps and will find it easier.
Definitely. Paving that way.
Yes, and so this is a big thing that you're doing. A really big thing. Yeah, really, really big. Really.
Well, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it just because I'm meeting people that I haven't known in person and that I get to learn from just by sitting down and talking. And I feel like this should be a show in itself where we come on once a week and just do this, just talk.
Oh yeah, that's great.
So that, and even, have questions and things like that. I feel like there should be more to it, than just the interview, but hearing everything that you have to say and sharing your light with everybody. So thank you so much for coming on. And thank you all for watching, for participating. And if this is after the live feed, again, you can send in your questions, and you can visit Trisha at tomorrowskey.com. Is that right? Website?
There's that's Amber?
Yeah, she's an intuitive empath healer and clairvoyant.
Have you interviewed her?
No, I haven't. She's been watching our show today.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. But because I enjoyed meeting Lori, watching her be interviewed. So I'm having a great fun meeting all these healers and teachers.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
And so makes me want, let's have a party.
I know. Well, I do have that party at the end of the month that I'm planning. The guest is right there on your computer. The guest Q&A party. So I'm hoping to get everybody together who's on the show so that we can all hang out, and I was going to do a little bit of it be a live feed so that we could
have
all
fun.
just talk and people can
Hi,
learn from us.
everybody. Yeah.
I thought, hey, you know, that's going to be a really powerful room. I'll
Can
tell you
you
right
imagine?
now.
Oh, and
I'm
you know,
hoping.
while we're there, we ought to like focus some
Round
attention
table.
on praying for everybody, lifting up the
great.
country towards its greatest and highest good, and everyone in it.
That sounds
Because you know we I would say that our country needs all the help we can get right now, and everybody in it
good.
is
In the world, yes.
the whole
definitely.
world could use a little.
Well, we're doing it.
Yeah,
We're
we
doing
are.
it just by being ourselves, and when we get together like that, yes, the ground will shake.
The
I can feel it.
the people that were praying for Jazz when he was in the hospital had the medical professionals going, what? How could he not have had any food or water for a week and have such bright eyes and such a bright energy? Well, it's my
He was
prayer
like,
warriors.
Oh, it feels good.
You know?
It feels so good.
It's all the power of all the people that were praying. So you ought to open up the floor to ask, you know, if people need to be prayed for, send us your name, and we'll
Love
be
that
happy
idea.
to call it by name
Let's
and
do it.
bring everybody together. That just gave me chills all the way
I
down the
know,
back of
I'm
my
so
head.
excited.
Yeah. All right.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. And thanks again. Bye-bye, everybody.